And we're off. Welcome to the 54th episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with the fantastic Rizky. Say hello, Rizky.
Hello.
Yes, and this is the show, of course, that's going to bring you all of the latest information for your favorite application, Brave Frontier Global, available to you guys on iOS, Android, Amazon, and Windows devices. And today we have for you guys a little bit of what's coming up. You know, closer to the spring, it's starting to get warm. It feels like we didn't have a winter at all. I don't know what happened, but you know, climate change and all that. Be kind to the environment, guys. We really need to, you know, take care of the planet and make sure that we last a little bit longer. So that's my input for today's, you know, life lesson. Rizky, do you want to take over so we can start on the actual content here?
All right. So right now, continuing on what we are having for the a set of so-called BF RPG content. We are having the next so-called hard content for the Trial of Odin. So there will be like an additional dungeon to be added into the current EU dungeon, and you will face it's probably in the Norse mythology is the top god, the top god in the Norse mythology, which is Odin. Right. So it's going to be very interesting to see on how the design looks like. So how about we pass it to you, Shali?
Okay. Well, of course, as you just said, Odin is going to be, you know, the main boss of this trial, and he is the chief of all gods. Also husband to Frigg, who we introduced the last time on our last BNC. But he helped create the Valkyries. There was, I mean, he is mostly known for his destructive power because he has this really legendary spear called Gungnir, and he can absolutely destroy everything with it. But a lot of people forget that this lance or spear also has the power of creation within it. So Odin is the alpha and the omega, basically. So what could a powerful god like Odin ever fear? You know, he can do everything. He's almighty, all-powerful. Well, you know, there are some things that even a god might be scared about. But I'll let you guys find out what that is. I have to say, Odin's artwork, his visual, is probably my favorite so far out of all of the Brave Frontier RPG units that I've seen. I love it. I absolutely love it. What do you think, Rizky?
Yeah, I think that puts a lot on like I don't know, the most powerful, the kind of like the top god in the mythology itself. Like he looks really I don't know, just like fatherly.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe that's what it is. I think I feel some sense of comfort. Like he looks so wise as well as powerful, but also like regal. Like, you know, he comes from a good family. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really love his concept and his design, and I really like his visual. So really excited to have more units from Brave Frontier RPG in Brave Frontier Global. Very exciting. Shall we move on to our next piece of content, Rizky?
All right, so the next update will be the Grand Quest X6. So there will be like just a summary on what we will be having for each of the episodes and what kind of reward we can get for normal and hard completion. So there will be like a gem, one gem and rainbow crystals for the episode 2 to 3, and there will be a mysterious gift and an extra ember butterfly for the hard reward for the hard clear rewards. We will be also having the elemental tomes, 15 elemental tomes, another gems for the episode 3-1 and episode 3-2. We will be having Geminus tomes, 15 of Geminus tomes, and Greater Light Golem. And finally for the 3-3, we will be having the gems, one gem and 2 rainbow crystals, Ember Butterfly, and another mystery reward. So for the mystery gifts, our mystery rewards will be refilled closer to the release date. So stay tuned for the more information for in our Facebook or another in-game post.
I'm wondering what it could be. Why are we being so mysterious about these rewards? I hope they're really good, because if we get all hyped up and they're not as good as we think we're gonna be this.
I guess it might be something related to the character itself, or something related to that they can't really unveil it now.
I see.
Because it's going to be a big spoiler.
Okay, risky with the hints. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the a little bit of the extra knowledge. Hopefully, you guys are excited for those mysterious rewards. I know that I am, for sure.
Regardless of that, I think we can still unveil one of the upcoming character for the Altered Destiny. So shall I pass it to you, Shali?
Sure. So we do have a new Altered Destiny summon unit. I believe her name is Avyn. It could be Avyn or Avyn. I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation for that. But she is a demigod that has the ability to kind of skim through the boundaries of planes. So for example, if this world exists here and this world exists there, she can kind of see what's on the other side of the horizon, but she just can't cross it. So it's a very interesting kind of ability to have, because maybe you see something really horrible happening, but there's nothing that you can do from your side because there's no way for you to get there. She is also an avid believer that too much augmentation is not good for you. Like it kind of destroys your sense of self. She is very secure in who she is. She's very confident. And because of that, she volunteered herself to be part of Asius's experiments. And it's been found that she's kind of like the embodiment of what transcendence is. So the idea of transcendence is pretty much who Avyn is as a person. You can kind of see this in the kind of dials, clock type of visuals that are surrounding like the hilt of her sword, or she's standing on a really big dial. So what is transcendence? What is it to be to not really exist in like a certain time or a certain place? It's a very interesting concept. And if anything, she's probably the closest demigod to being like an actual god, is what I've heard. So I don't know exactly what that means, to be that close to being an actual god, but it should be interesting to follow. And I'm very intrigued that her colors are so close to those of Asius. I don't know if there's any meaning in that, but I can't help but to feel that it's on purpose. So I don't know. Well, what do you think, Risky?
I'm not sure if she's some kind of like reimagining of the other character, because this pink hair looks or feels very familiar to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you have like any spoiler on it.
I do not. I actually am wondering the same thing myself, which is why I'm running with all these theories, like, her hair and her eyes kind of match this thing, but then that other thing doesn't really match, so I'm not quite sure. Plus she works with this guy, so, so my brain, the gears are turning, but I don't have a definite answer. And even if I did have a definite answer, I wouldn't necessarily share with everyone, because I want everybody to also just kind of like dive into the mystery on their own and find out what it is by playing, the Altered Destiny storyline in Grand Quest, which is very, very fun, and is going to also help expand on what happened to Asius, when he tries to return to the Athens sphere. Are things looking good for him or bad for him? We don't really know. So it's going to be fun to find out.
Yep,
and I want to see exactly how strong she is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, moving on. We do have more content coming for you guys for the Frontier Spire. And Frontier Spire, you're gonna get new rewards. For Sector 10, you're gonna get a new Spire Sphere, which is fun. And Sector 15, a new Spire Elgift. So new Sphere, new Elgift. There's also gonna be a change in the monsters. So the set of monsters is actually going to be switched around. So maybe the ones that you have already seen in the Spire might not be making an appearance at all, or maybe they're up here more frequently. We don't know what the change actually is. And you're gonna be having to look for new strategies on how to conquer the tower itself. So it's not going to be exactly the same as last time. It always keeps changing. It keeps you on your toes. So just be prepared for everything, and then just climb the levels as high as you can. I can't even remember the last floor that I did on the last one, because I just kind of kept climbing and it just never ended. And so I was like, I don't know how far this goes, but I'm just gonna keep trying. So the point is to just go as far as you can possibly go, make sure that you are using all your orbs once they're filled up, and so you get your sphere and your algov.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice to have like a content update like the update to existing content so that players can really can enjoy or can replay the similar challenges again. Yeah.
Exactly.
So from time to time, I think our team will be applying such kind of update, and we will be revisiting some of the older contents to see if we can update it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not the only thing we have coming up. Rizky, do you want to take the next one?
All right, so the next one will be the Vortex Arena Season 5, the Electrical Showdown. So we have a preview of what is coming in the next Electrical Showdown here. We will, as similar to what we had for the previous element, we have adjustment of daily and overall rank rewards. So there will be exclusive spheres in overall rank rewards, which is Might and Mana for rank 1 to 1,500, and 1,201 to 6,000 will be Monkey's Instinct. So I guess you guys can already tell what is the next upcoming unit.
Well, I mean, it's in the name, so.
Yeah. And as similar to what we had for the previous element, Vortex Arena, the past reward from the past Vortex Arena will be added as well. So Tiger's Ferocity will be added into the event bazaar. So those nunchucks are very interesting. Can you reintroduce the units, Shari?
Sure. I don't know that these are nunchucks, first of all. I believe these are tonfas.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, I don't consider myself
My
a
bad.
weapon expert or anything, but I've watched a martial art film or two because I'm an avid martial arts fan, and I do believe these are tonfas. But Ukie is going to be our Thunder, Vortex Arena unit. She represents the monkey in the Chinese zodiac, and she's very dressed up in this kind of like Chinese opera getup. But it's really funny because her name is Ukie, and I don't know if you guys know this, but in Japanese, monkeys say uki uki. So, so her name is kind of like a play on like, a monkey sound in Japanese, but her dress, her garment is very Chinese. So it's just kind of like a fusion of Asian cultures here, which is really cool. Now, Ukie is she's very smart, very, very smart, but she's very dramatic. And I think her dramatic qualities kind of come from like this sense of like purity and innocence inside, where, for everybody, something exciting might be like, oh, wow, great. But for Ukie, everything's like, wow, like in her mind, everything just explodes like 10 times bigger than it usually would. So when she came to the realm of, mortals and humans, everybody thought that she was kind of like a method actress because she was just so dramatic about everything she did and so exaggerated in all her mannerisms and stuff. So it's really fun to imagine that, because I think it goes so well with the personality of a monkey, who are always just kind of like very active and like just kind of like all over the place. So that's Ukie there. We are going to have to see how she develops, what her story is. I do hear she's good friends with Peter the rabbit.
The rabbit, yes.
I think they both have that kind of like same vibe, the same energy, where they're just kind of like nonstop going at all times. But I think Ukie has a little bit more restraint than Peter, maybe. So it would be fun to see like an exchange between the two. Hopefully that happens sometime down the road. But what do you think of her design, Risky?
Well, I have two comments on her. Like, the first is like I absolutely in love with the get-ups and her looks as well, especially when she's in Omni version with the long hair.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
it's going to be very, very interesting. And I love. I can say that she's another the ex-waifu. My ex-waifu now.
For sure.
Well, the second one will be based on her personality. I think it will be very interesting to see her comics as well. I believe every time we will be having a Brave Frontier comics for the update for every new characters we introduce, and knowing that she's very dramatic, I think those 4 panels will be very fun to read on.
I'm waiting for the sitcom to just kind of like happen between Ukie and Peter, and they're like in the coffee shop and something happens and it just gets ridiculous. I'm waiting for it. I'm looking forward to these comics. in the future because it should be really, really fun. But one thing that you pointed out that is one of my favorite things about Ukie is that kind of it's a little bit old school Brave Frontier where like the lower rarity of the unit kind of had short hair, and then the higher rarity for some reason just kind of like grew their hair out and it's like luscious and beautiful. Ukie does that when she evolves into Omni, and I thought that was just like so great because it just reminds me of the good old days when that was like a thing, because recently we don't really do that.
I mean, usually the looks, I mean, the things carry forward, just the costume that is changed. But I think
exactly.
In this case, the costume doesn't change much, but the appearance, her appearance is slightly different.
Yeah. I love it. She looks absolutely great. She's a cutie. I love that the bow in her back kind of like resembles, a monkey tail without it being an actual tail. She looks great. She looks absolutely great. I cannot wait for her to join us really, really soon.
Oh.
All right, Risky, let's move on to some more exciting news here.
Right, so the next content update will be another content update from Brave Frontier 2. So we will be having a new boss battles from Brave Frontier 2, which is this the Illusionist Melfel. So for those who have played Brave Frontier 2 in the past, you will know that this is probably one of the, I don't know, I would say like hardest or scariest boss at the very early part of the game. And there will be two difficulties here. The first will be the normal mode, where you can get 1 gem and 1 exclusive gift. The hard mode will give you 3 gems and exalted tokens and another exclusive gift as well. So it's going to be very interesting to try and complete, to try to fight in this dungeon as well, I think.
Yeah. Melfel is known for his trickery and manipulation. Like he fights dirty. He doesn't hold anything back. He will use anything at his disposal to get what he wants, and he specializes in tricking people and taking advantage of them. So I am anticipating that the battle will incorporate a lot of that. I think it will be filled with booby traps and like all these other types of things that are going to try to like trick you or like set up like something where you like mess up and then it like blows back in your face. I don't know. I'm scared.
Like probably you have to pay attention to whatever things he's saying. And,
yeah. And make sure you read that BB log. In the menu, because if you miss something, that's probably going to cost you a great deal. But I'm excited to see more characters from Brave Frontier 2 making it into Brave Frontier Global. And speaking of more characters that are going to join us, we have another hero across time joining us. This time is Sasha. Now Sasha is one of like the new generation of summoners in Acro Summoners Hall. She's a very, very promising summoner, very, very skilled for her young age. She's part of the 31st division of the Demon Slayers. So that's how you know she's really good at what she does, because she's in the Demon Slayers herself. She is the kind of person that does things not for the glory or the fame. She just does things because it's the right thing to do. She's always out to help people. She wants to do what is right. She has a very good moral compass. And the only weakness that I would say she has is that she has this very strong desire to impress her father, or to be, or for her efforts to be recognized by her father. She's very much a daddy's girl, I guess you could say. Now, who is her father? I am not going to spoil that for you. I'm sure that a lot of you already know if you've been keeping a really close eye on the lore for Brave Frontier 2. But if you don't know, I'm going to let you find that out for yourself. Although, I mean, it's written all over her. If you can't guess by the way she looks who her daddy is, then maybe you haven't played Brave Frontier hard enough. But you should know. I mean, or haven't a good idea.
When you take a look at the those iconic Brave Frontier characters, well, the color kind of resemble them really well.
Yep.
So
exactly.
No overlap.
Exactly. I think it's much more of a mystery who her mother is, and I've gotten all sorts of like guesses. I know exactly who her mother is, and it's not any of the other summoners.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that it's not any of the other summoners. So if you want a hint as to who Sasha's mom is and you haven't been able to figure it out, her choice of weapon says a lot. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. That's it. I'm not gonna spoil anything else. Sasha is gonna join us very soon. I can't wait to see her in action. She's absolutely excellent, and I'm very excited to have more heroes across time joining us because we love that new storyline. Or I mean, it's not a storyline. It's what is the word that I'm looking for?
It's
timeline.
Not totally timeline, right? I mean, we don't totally reimagine them like completely different from what it is in Frontier 2, but there are like some resemblance and similarities.
Right. It's like we're watching the future from far away without being able to like really touch it, but it's very exciting nonetheless.
All right.
All right. Well, I believe that's all the content that we have for you guys today. Stick around for the Summoner's Corner coming up next. All right, it's time for the Summoner's Corner where you guys ask lots of questions and then we have Risky answer lots of them too. So the first one that we have here for you guys is from Zane. And Zane is asking, are we going to get any more Brave Frontier 2 content? Spoiler alert, yes we are. We just announced it in this BNC. But Zane would like to see more members of the Nogreth forces, for example, Hilda, Shia, Lanford, also other heroes such as Roy, Wallace, Joshua. Like, who are all of those people and where are they? And is it possible that we can get them in the future in Brave Frontier Global?
Right. So, well, as we announced earlier, this March, as a part of our Brave Frontier Battle of Brave Frontier 2 content, we will be introducing Sasha and one more boss, the Melfel, the Illusionist. So, while it really depends on like the content of the month itself, we probably won't be able to like sort of promise a regular update on that, but whenever we have a slot, we will try to include more of BF2 contents and into BF Global, because I think a lot of our players do really want to know what are those characters, how's the story, and how interesting are the fights. So yeah, so look forward for it in the upcoming months.
Yes, I am definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully you are too, Zane. Thank you so much for your question. Now we're moving on to the second one here by Tyson N12. Tyson wants to know if it is possible for us to get a set date for a refresh on the Brave Insignia Bazaar, like every 2 or 3 months or something, like on the dot. It just resets itself and then 2-3 months later it resets again, etc., etc. What do you think about that, Risky?
Well, the next refresh will be happening in April, but a good suggestion from Tyson and 12, so we'll be reviewing as well if we can make it more frequently.
All right, so for now, just look forward to the update in April, and hopefully after that, we have kind of a bit more set schedule for you, Tyson. Thank you so much for your question. And the last question of the day here by Chiffon Shrimp 94. I love these names, you guys. Chiffon Shrimp 94, and then it's a little fox like profile pic. I don't know what the relationship between all these things are, but I know that I love it. So thank you so much for your question. Chiffon wants to know, I've been playing this game since the 6-star era, and my first ever unit when I started was Ultra Blade AM. Now with every global exclusive coming to Brave Frontier and every single one requiring to have a Legend Stone to evolve to Omni, I wanted to know if it's possible to reduce the cost of the Legend Stone by half or to give us easier ways to get the Legend Stone, because at the moment it seems like Chiffon has to sell quite a bit of units to get material to evolve these units with Legend Stones. And I actually struggled a lot with this at the beginning as well. I think I just started stacking up a bunch of merit points, just as many as I could, and then that's kind of what I just used them for, only for that. But Risky, do you want to chime in? Is there any way that we can help Chiffon out with this?
Yeah, I think we kind of understand that every time we hit our merit point caps, the first thing we will spend is for the Legend Stone.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be useful.
Yeah.
Well, certainly we can consider the lowering the cost after some evaluation. But right now, at the moment, we don't have any plan for that. But in the meantime, do check on our event bazaar, because we will be giving more and more. I mean, like for the upcoming event, we having more and more this kind of like legend stone item into our event bazaar. So alternatively, rather than stocking up for merit point, you can be active in the event and redeem those legend stones as well.
All right. Well, yeah, I have to say that I have been seeing it more and more in the recent event bazaars, and I was like, oh, hey, they have those now. So, if you have some extra currency to spare that you've been farming for a bit and you kind of got all the important stuff out of the bazaar first, and you're just really low on legend stones, it might be a good idea to use that extra currency to get yourself the materials you need for those evolutions. So, something to keep in mind, and hopefully, yeah, like Risky said, in the future, we just have more events that have them more readily available. Maybe the cost of them in the bazaar is a little bit less, from the, based on the event currency, like we don't know. But the cost of the legend stone itself in the game, whether it's going to change or not, we can't say at this point in time.
Yeah.
We'll consider it.
We'll consider it, yes.
Exactly, so what's Risky is saying. So thank you so much for your question, Shafan. Hopefully that answers for you. And that is all that we have today, you guys. Very excited for all this stuff to come. I would just like to say that a lot of people are not feeling very well these days, but hopefully you guys are. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. If you don't feel very well, make sure you say something. It's important to take care of your health, and especially if you live with your family and stuff. Think about them as well and let them know that maybe you're not doing so good. But we hope that you find yourself in good health, and we wish you the best as always. Thank you so much for your support, and I think we'll just be seeing you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Thank you.